How's everybody doing this afternoon? It is August 3rd, 2024. It is, I have no idea what time it is. Let's see. It is 2:16 in the afternoon. Okay, so what I've got for you for this video is some dream stuff. I'm going to go ahead and keep putting my dreams on this YouTube channel. And I was thinking about making another YouTube channel just for my dreams. But I'm going to go ahead and put this one on here. This is technically two of them, I think. I forgot. I was looking this stuff up before we left to go shopping earlier, and I forgot. So, okay, so I go to my trusty IRA Milligan book, and I had a dream recently that I was standing outside this house, and it had it was dark green and white, and like a forest green and white, and there was a tornado. And the only thing that IRA has for tornadoes is storm. So I'm going to try to find that. And I know that I've went through this before, but might have forgot. So we'll just say it again. We'll read it again. Let's see. Oh yeah, storm is in. Oh, okay. Storm, disturbance, change, spiritual warfare, judgment, sudden calamity or destruction, trial, persecution, opposition, witchcraft. A white storm is God's power, revival. And it says, see clouds, thunder, and wind. And the verses that go along with that are, for thou hast been a strength to the poor, a strength to the needy in his distress, a refuge from the storm, a shadow from the heat, when the blast of the terrible ones is a storm against the wall, an attack against the defenses of the righteousness. Isaiah chapter 25, verse 4. Next verse, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3. And I think I might have made a video about that because I was wondering what sudden destruction was, or sudden calamity. And it's not what people think, I think, from what I remember. Okay, and then the next verse is, the Lord hath his way in the whirlwind, and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. Nahum chapter 1, verse 3b. Okay, and that one makes sense because it says whirlwind. I haven't looked whirlwind up, and I've had two dreams recently. One of them, there were 3 tornadoes, and they were smaller tornadoes, but I was in this house, and I was with all these women, and the kids were in the bedroom down the hall, and my son Tristan was there, but he was like younger than what he is now. He's 17 now. And then there were little kids. There were like little babies and stuff. And I was standing there, and then all of a sudden I turned around, and there was these 3 tornadoes, and they went right through the apartment. But it didn't destroy the apartment. It was almost like, well, spiritual. It, it was like they were spiritual tornadoes, but they didn't do any damage. It's kind of like, you know how you see in the TV shows and the movies where like a dead person will walk through somebody, or a dead person will walk through a wall, or, you know, anything like that. It was like that. It was like the 3 tornadoes went right through the apartment. And that's all it was. And I thought, and I went into the bedroom and I checked to see if everybody was okay. And everybody was okay. But it was almost like somehow I knew like it affected them somehow. And it might have affected all of us, but it didn't literally get near me. But it got near me, but it didn't literally go through me. Like it went through the kids in the bedroom. And it might have affected some of the other people in the house or apartment, but it didn't affect, it didn't get near me. It got near me, but it didn't go through me. So that's the 2 tornado dreams that I've had recently. And I just finished watching the second movie, because I had a dream a long time ago about, it was like a couple of years ago or so, about people coming out of the TV into wherever it was that I was. But it wasn't like bad. Like, you know, and the only thing is the movie The Ring. There's 2 movies, and you know how Samara comes out of the TV and she kills people whenever she does that. But in my dream, nothing bad was happening like that. It was just people coming out of the TV. Not exactly like she does, but it was just like they were coming through the TV. And so I forgot about it for a long time, and then I remembered it, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna watch The Ring. So, because I had forgot. It had been years and years since I'd watched The Ring that I could remember. So I went ahead and watched both of them. And in the second one, you can really tell there's these houses that are this dark green color, and the barn that the horses stay in is green and white, and the house that what's their face, the people who adopted Samara, I forgot their names. Their house was green and white. And so I thought, well, since it's a scary movie and Samara I'm not really sure what she was doing, but like in the second dream, or second dream, the second movie, um, Rachel says she just wants a mother. And so, because she kept calling her mommy, and she kept saying, Mommy, I love you, Mommy, I love you. And so she thought that she just wanted a mother. So she went up to the TV, and because Samara had literally like went into Aiden, and that's her son's name, and she's dead. And I have how do I put this? I've thought about this for a long time, and I found scripture, and I forgot where it is. I think it might be in Ezekiel. I think I might have read it before, but I think it's in Ezekiel, where the only place that I found where a spirit, but it doesn't say what spirit it is. It just says, I stood up and the spirit entered into me. And I thought, can that really happen? And, well, I'm like, well, if the Bible says it can happen, then it can happen. Because evidently it happened to somebody in the Bible. I forgot who it was, but I think it's in Ezekiel. It might take me a while to find it again, but I'm gonna try to find it. But so so it was Storm. So okay, I'm gonna go back to this book. Okay, and then then it says, so I looked up horses because there's a horse on the door, and I had a dream about two horses, and they were running, and they were dark colored horses, and there was a rider on each of the horse, and one of the horses jumped off the back of the horse onto the horse that was in front, and it was running. And in the movie, there's two dead horses. And I was like, what? I was like, could that mean that it's death? And because it says, hold on, I'm gonna find it. It says in here that one of the horse's riders is death. Find it. Okay, horse. Yeah. Horse is, according to IRA Milligan, is time or work. Flesh, as in the works of the flesh. The work of God's Spirit through man. Spiritual warfare. So there's spiritual warfare again. And then it says 1 week or another specific period of time. Age. Strength. Okay, and so I thought, okay, well, if it's 1 week, if it's time, there were two horses. So would that mean that it's 2 weeks? And is it a day is as 1,000 years to God? So, but I was like, but that didn't make any sense, because 1,000 years, we don't have 1,000 years left on Earth, I don't think. Okay, so, because sometimes I think that, like, it's like in part, like you get parts of stuff, and then like you have to put it together sometimes. Sometimes you don't get like all of it all at once sometimes. And so it made sense to me. I thought, well, that makes sense. Okay, let's see. Hold on a sec. Yeah. Okay, horses, rider. Nature of time or work. Anxious, happy, confident. And I remember hearing the word confident a long time ago whenever I was in my rocker recliner praying. And it says, "And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him." Revelation 6:8a. I have no idea what the letters are for. I haven't figured that out. And I've been trying to put this together, but I can't seem to put it together just yet. And I know I'll go to Dave Heddy's Biblical Numbers. So, and then the movie is an hour and 49 minutes and some odd seconds long. And I was like, 49. I had a dream about the number 49. I'm like, what in the heck? I'm like, how is this all, like, so I'm trying to figure this out. So these are all the pieces. Okay, so 2 is division or difference. Because I added 4 plus 9 and it equals 24. So the 2 and the 4. So 2 is division and difference. And 4 is creation, the world. So that would make sense. Like if it's the flesh, the works of the flesh, then, that would be the world. So, okay. So 2 and 4. Okay. And then there's also 24. Okay. So 24 is priesthood or heavenly government. And I haven't looked that up yet, but I have no idea what that means. So it could mean there's division, and there isn't one for 49, but I was taught this as well. You take 2 numbers or however many numbers and you put them together. So let's see. Okay, so there's 40. Okay, so 40, trial, probation, chastisement. And then you put 9, and 9 is the promises of God. Okay, so, and then in the movie on the door, there was 601 on the door. So 600 is warfare. So there's warfare again. Spiritual warfare, warfare. See right here. Warfare. I have no idea if you can see that or not. I can't see it. So to me, that's like 3 confirmations right there that it's spiritual warfare. That, and spiritual warfare brings division. And that's all I got. And something about, possibly death and hell, and, obviously that's gonna bring division. And in the world. And it could mean that death and hell is coming to the world. Um, let's see. But I still haven't figured out the priesthood or the heavenly government. It could a priesthood. Not really sure. Maybe to the. I'm not really sure who the priesthood is. The only thing I can think of is the priests, like the pastors and the priests, like that division could be coming to there's spiritual warfare. I think there's a lot of spiritual warfare going on, and there has been for a long time because I have felt it. And when I say that, I mean that, like, literally every day whenever I wake up in this apartment, it feels different. Every day. Like, I know that sounds strange, but like I can like literally feel sometimes like what the atmosphere feels like, and it feels different in this apartment every time. And I felt back whenever the eclipse happened that there was gonna be there was like a new season that was gonna happen, like something new was going to happen, that there was going to be some kind of shift or some kind of something. And I think that whatever that is, whatever is trying to break through is coming against something that doesn't want it to come through, doesn't want something to happen. You know what I'm saying? That's what I feel like. I feel like I'm on the brink of something. I feel like right on the cusp of something, because like I have felt like I have gone back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and I feel like I've just been battling all this stuff. And if anybody feels the same way, that this would be why, because there's spiritual warfare going on, and there's storms, and I think something has to do with oh yeah. And also I was reminded of there is a horse in the movie Dreamer, and it's called something Storm. But I'm gonna have to watch it. I have the movie, I think. I hope I still have the movie. I have it on DVD. It's called Something Storm, and it's a race. It's about a horse race, and it's a true story. And this woman, Debbie, had me watch it at her house whenever I was staying at her house a long time ago. And I could see all the spiritual symbolism in that movie. Like, we could pick out, like, okay, we know that that's, like, the demonic side, and that's the good side. And, there's... So, yeah, it totally makes... It's something Storm. I forgot what it was. But, and they all have numbers on the horses. But I forgot what number that horse had. Okay, so back to the Ring movie. 600. There was 601 on the door. Whenever, oh, and the guy's name is Noah. There's coincidentally, the guy's name, her friend is Noah in the first one. And I forgot the guy's name in the second one. Okay, so 601. So 600 is warfare. Okay, and then 1 is unity. And then Dave's got in parentheses God. So there's unity in parentheses God. And then, so there's, I've been seeing, stuff about the Olympics not wanting Jesus to have anything to do with Jesus. So that's spiritual warfare against God right there. If that's what's going on. Is I saw a video but I didn't get to watch it. So I've been watching like clips of it to see if like there's anything that I could see that doesn't have, that's saying anything about God. Well, I found something, and I'm gonna have to make a whole new video because this video is like really freaking long. So we have the number 1, we have unity, we have God. And we have the number 2, division, difference. Number 4, creation, the world. 9, the promises of God. 24, priesthood and heavenly government. Okay, and then 40, trial, probation, chastisement. And 600, warfare. So we got all those pieces. So we've got the two horses, and then the 2 horses that were dead, and then there was also February 4th. Okay. And 4 is creation, the world. Okay, so yeah, those are all the pieces, but I haven't been able to put it together yet as to what it could possibly mean. That there's a lot of spiritual warfare going on. And I believe that to beyond anything that I could possibly believe, because I'm going through it. Like, I've been going through it for a while. And, but there's been days where I feel good. Like, this morning, I woke up this morning, and, well, while I was watching the movie, I had to stop watching the movie, and I watched it all the way until the laptop died. And, but while I was watching the movie, like, this is the kind of warfare that I feel like that's going on. Like, my head was hurting so bad that, like, I just, and then I didn't feel good. Like, I started to feel a little nauseous, and not too bad, but just a tad. Like, and I thought, well, maybe I'm getting a fever again, because whenever I got sick, here recently, the last couple of days, and I think that it had to do with the Prime drink, is that I thought, well, I'm getting a fever again. because that's kind of what it felt like. But it was like, it was just constant in my head. It was just constant, like the whole top of my head was hurting so bad. And whenever it does that, I have to, if I can make it through the movie, I make it through the movie. But if I don't, I have to lay down and then for a while, and then it'll feel better. But this time, I laid down for a little while, and then I got back up. And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm gonna get back up. And I wasn't really that tired. I just needed to lay down for a little while. And so I got up. I took 2 vitamin C with rose hips and whatever, I forgot the word, gummies. And then I went into the kitchen and I took Midol. And I used to take Midol in high school, and it helped me so much. And this time, I think it did again. And, like, I woke up, I went to sleep at, like, 5 o'clock in the morning. And I woke up, and I felt so... I don't want to say hyper, but I felt like I had, like, a lot of energy. And I just... My whole body just felt, like, really good. And I just felt like I had, like, a whole lot of energy. And I was like, oh my goodness. And it went from me having 100, my temperature went from 99 something to 100 to 100.8. And it kept going up. And I felt horrible. And I was cold, and I couldn't get warm. And it went from that to a day or 2 later, I felt great, and I felt wonderful, and I felt hyper, or just a little bit. And I felt like I had all this energy, and I felt really light. And I was just like, oh, I'm gonna get stuff done while I feel good, you know? And it was just like, so I started cleaning the apartment, and I was like, I'm gonna clean the apartment. And, so yeah. Um, and that was just within a couple of days. So yeah, that's what I feel like. And I'm just like, and I remember just laying there thinking, why doesn't somebody just off me and like get this over with? I was like, I don't even know why I'm doing this anymore. Like, I had that thought for like a couple of seconds, and then a little while after that, it was just like, no, you can do this. You can get through this. Because I do this thing where I think about like the whole big picture, and like everything all at once, and you get overwhelmed by it. And I know that I can't do that, because I know that I'll get overwhelmed by it if I think about how long I've been going through this, 12 years. And, you know, it gets overwhelming. And it's like, I have to do this like 1 day at a time. Sometimes it's just 1 minute at a time. Because, you know, that's how it was for me for a long time. And that has helped me so much. I remember whenever I went to